Assalamualaikum. Welcome to video lesson number 7. Today our topic is springs. Previously we have learned about magnets. Then we investigated the ability of magnets to work through different materials, and then we checked the strength of magnets in different ways. So learning objectives for today are: we will know that when a spring is stretched or compressed, it also exerts a force to restore its shape to the original form. Therefore, exerting a force on whatever is compressing or stretching it. You can refer to your textbook page number 62 and 63. As we have already discussed that forces always act in a particular directions, and they are demonstrated using arrows. In the end, we will identify the uses of springs in our daily lives, and you can refer to your textbook's page 65. So let's see what is compressing or stretching. In the first picture here, you can see it's a static spring in its original shape, when no one is exerting any force on it. When you hold a spring and you exert a force on it in this direction, these arrows are used to show the direction of the force. When you are pushing on the spring with both of your hands, this is called compress. And this force, compressing, makes the spring shorter. You can compare the size of the spring with the original size. That spring has got shorter. Now look at this force. This is stretching. You are holding a spring from one hand, and from the other hand you are stretching it. You are pulling on this spring in this direction. This arrow has been shown to show the direction. Now compare the size of the spring with the original spring and decide what has happened. What is the change in the shape? Yes, spring has got longer. But when you release the spring in both the cases, after compressing or stretching, when you release the spring, what happens? Spring got its original shape back. It comes in its original. Stretching a spring. If the spring is fixed on one point and you are exerting a force in the right direction, in this direction, then what would the spring do? It will also exert a force on your hand in the opposite direction. If you are exerting a force in the right, it will exert a force to the left. Compressing a spring. When the spring is again fixed or attached to a fixed point, and you are exerting a force, you are pushing on the spring in the left. What will happen? Yes, spring will get shorter obviously, and it will also exert a force on your hand to the right. Why it is exerting force in both the cases? To restore its original shape. Now it's quiz time. What happens when you push on a spring? Yes, it gets shorter. What happens to you when you pull on a spring? Yes, it gets longer. What do your hands feel when compressing or stretching a spring? It feels like spring is also exerting a force. Uses of springs. Springs are widely used in our daily lives. There are so many things around us which have springs inside them. In few of the things, the springs are visible. In few of the things, the springs are not visible. What is this? What the boy is doing? Yes, he is jumping on something. Have you ever observed the thing? Maybe you have played. Yes, it's a trampoline. Can you compare yourself when you jump on a wooden tabletop and when you jump on a trampoline? Is there any difference? Yes, when you jump on a trampoline, it feels like it is also pushing you back. But what does it feel like that? Because it has so many springs around its edge. Around the edge of the trampoline there are so many springs, and when you stand on a trampoline they all are stretched, getting longer. So they exert a force on you and which helps you in jumping. Now look at more uses of the springs. They are used in car or bike suspensions. They are used in clocks to make them work. They are also used in staplers. And if you are going to open a stapler and to keep the pins inside it, maybe you have observed the springs inside it. And yes, these are playground rides which you have enjoyed in your childhood. Yes, they have huge springs over here which help you, which make these toys bouncy. Yes, in closing the doors as well. When you open a door and you leave it, what happens? It gets closed by itself because it has springs in it. And yes, it's a trampoline. Okay, quiz time. You have to observe all of these pictures and decide that which of them have springs in them. You can pause the video and observe the pictures and to decide where are the springs being used. If the spring is not visible, so it doesn't mean that there will not be any spring in it. Maybe the springs are hidden inside the thing. For example, mattress. What do you think? Are there any springs? Yes, inside the mattress, under the layers of these fabrics, there are springs. So now you have to decide which of these things have springs in them. Let's summarize all the points. When you sit on a sofa, you exert a force. In which direction? Downwards. And the springs inside the sofa exert a force? Upwards. When a spring is compressed or stretched, it also exerts a force to restore its shape or size. Compressing a spring makes it shorter and stretching a spring makes it longer. And in the end, we have seen uses of springs in our daily lives, but these were the few pictures which were showing the uses of springs. There are a lot of things which have springs inside them. You have to find out a few more things, and then let me know. Till then, thank you. Allah Hafiz.